Our mission: Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and allow for open dialogue. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone, and thank you, Andrea, for being here.
We are thrilled that Andrea is here, and we're so excited to hear about her daughter, Chloe, and how Chloe has connected with her. I'm going to just quickly read her bio. It's a shortened version, so the whole thing will be on the YouTube video that I'll upload later. Award-winning entrepreneur, author, lecturer, and recipient of a McGill Dobson Fellow, Andrea graduated from McGill University in 1982 and from the University of Victoria in 2018 with an MEd. However, prior to this, her daughter Chloe fell ill with colon cancer. After a very difficult and blessed year together, Chloe passed in February of 2016. She was 28. Andrea's first book, Conversations with Chloe, a mother and daughter dialogue across the veil, is a 5-month-long dialogue that began 6 weeks after Chloe's death. Begun as a simple letter from Andrea to her daughter to help deal with the loss, the first words of Chloe's response, "Mom, you are so easy to find that it's a joke," jolted Andrea out of grief and onto a journey of healing and miracles and knowing that there is only life after life. Andrea's second book, Magical Thinking Not, is a collection of conversations with bereaved parents about their journeys of love and loss and the signs they receive from their children in spirit. In addition to mentoring young entrepreneurs, Andrea is a sound healing practitioner, facilitating sessions in the workplace, in wellness centers, and now via Zoom, helping people reduce anxiety and experience deep peace. You can learn more about Andrea at www.andreacourey.com. I'll put that in the chat box. And now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Andrea Courey.
Hi, everybody. Lovely to be with all of you. Everybody is muted, so I can't hear you, but it's lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. And I see faces from the Ottawa group. And you know, it's fascinating because I was blessed to have my daughter communicate with me so clearly just 5 weeks after she passed. And we spoke together for 5 months. But you know, even after all that, I still needed to reach out and find other parents who had lived what I lived. I needed to talk to other mothers. And so when I connected with Helping Parents Heal in Ottawa, and that was 2 years after Chloe passed, we would sit together, and around this dining room table, the stories were so extraordinary that one day I said to Patty, would you mind if I record this and turn this into a book? And I think that book is it's as important actually as the first one. The first one people sometimes don't believe. They're like, yeah. You really talked to your daughter? Maybe you just made this whole thing up so that you could heal. But there's a lot of reasons why I know that that was really divine communication between Chloe and myself. And there's some information in there, and there's just great ways to help us all bridge between the two worlds together. but there's just not enough time to get into all of it. The second book, this one is a book that it's a small little book, but it's a gem, because all the moms in it talk about their stories and talk about their kids. And I don't know about you guys, but man, it feels good to talk about our children and to share that together and share the signs that we get. And that's really what the whole purpose of this is. And if anybody ever wants to read it, it's going to be available through Helping Parents Heal as a PDF. Anybody can download it. It's there for you. Now, hearing Chloe 5 weeks after she passed was not some random thing. And really, my whole voyage began in 1991 when I had an extraordinary near-death experience. And I'd like to share it. I'd like to share it because it really gives us all hope. And having attended several IANS get-togethers and conferences and hearing people share their near-death experiences, you realize that, it doesn't matter when it happened. It could have happened a year ago or 30 years ago, and everybody remembers the details so clearly. So this one happened 30 years ago, basically. And I didn't speak about it for 25 years. I kept it to myself. I didn't want anybody to know. I was a teacher, I was an entrepreneur, and I only began to share it after Chloe passed. So I'd like to tell you what happened. It was December 1991, and I woke up one morning and I had a vision. Now, the difference between a vision and a dream is with a vision, you remember. With a dream, you either have to scramble and write it down or it's gone. It evaporates. But a vision, you remember every detail. And I remember having this vision. And I saw myself and my husband walking down a snowy sidewalk. It was night. I saw a car. It hit us. I heard my husband scream. And I remember thinking to myself, why would a car hit us when we were walking on the sidewalk? And then the day began and I forgot the vision. And that night at 10:10, it's exactly what happened. When I think about the beautiful timing that had to happen in order for that car to actually hit us at that precise moment, there's so much more to this than I actually even can understand. But I'm just giving it to you the way it happened. So we were hit by this car and it jumped the sidewalk and hit us precisely so that I went forward, my husband went back over the car, and as he went through the air, I heard him scream and say the exact words that I had heard at 7 a.m. that morning. So there was this whole bending of time. At 7 a.m. that morning, I saw and heard an event that was only going to happen at 10 p.m. that night. So as I'm flying through the air, I think, okay, something's prepared me, don't panic. And then I slide down the road and come out of my body. And it's true, your consciousness is completely different from your physical body. I didn't realize it at first. And I was about 9 feet above the air looking down and I said, wait a minute, I know that coat. I know that person, looks familiar. And then I realized it was me. It was me. And then there was a big party and I saw everybody piling out of the house and chaos ensuing. And I was trying to talk to them. Nobody would hear me. And then I moved away. I moved towards that beautiful light. And it's true. It's really there. And it changes your whole perspective of life and death. And your whole ability actually to deal with all kinds of loss, even the loss of a child, because you realize, oh my gosh, there really, there's only love. So this light comes around me and just lifts me away from the scene, and I have no more attachment to the scene whatsoever. And then I see this figure in front of me, and he addresses me by name. And this is the part that always gets me, because I'm like, you know my name? I was all amazed that he knew my name. Like, who am I that they know my name? But he did. So he said, Andrea, he said, do you want to stay or do you want to go? And I said, oh, I have to go back. I said, I have 3 children. My children were 1, 3, and 5 at the time. And my 1-year-old is now 30. So They were 1, 3, and 5. I said, I must go back. And he asked me again, and I said, even if every bone is broken, I have to go back. And then I was thrown into some kind of a vortex, and this thing was spinning, and I held on. I can only explain it that way. I was in some kind of astral body. I slammed back into my body, and I woke up. There I was on the ground still, just being put into a stretcher, and I said, wow, something's gone to a lot of trouble to save me, and my life is never going to be the same. And it actually wasn't. After that, I got out of a loveless marriage, and I started to have psychic abilities that came on slowly, so that I wouldn't be scared, so that I wouldn't be unable to handle them. Sometimes I was unable to handle them, and I'd say, please back off, I'm not ready for this. And then they would back off. It was quite amazing. But slowly but surely, I learned to communicate with spirit. Around 2010, I started doing automatic writing, and it stopped after a while, and I was really sad about that. I was devastated. I thought, oh no, what did I do wrong? What did I mess up? I didn't publish it. I didn't talk about it. I really was hard on myself. And then I realized afterwards it was just preparing me. It was just an interim step to prepare me to be able to hear Chloe. So Chloe passes in February 2016. And the last month of her life, actually, she was in palliative care. And it was quite something being in palliative care with her. It was an incredible experience. It was awful and it was wonderful, because it was really a whole person care and a whole family care. And the last night of Chloe's life, I took a picture of her. I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds so bizarre. But I just knew it was her last night. And I couldn't sleep in the room because her father was in there, so I went onto one of those really uncomfortable hospital chairs. It was about 12:30 at night, and I had actually been in the room with her, and I could hear her in my head say, Mom, leave the room. I won't be able to go if you're in the room. And it was hard to leave her, but I said, okay. And I went to sleep in a hospital chair, and 2 hours later, I was woken up. I was woken up by this, it was like I got hit in the chest with this incredible feeling of joy. And I said, it's done. And it's hard. It's the hardest thing to feel joy when it's so awful and you're all mixed up with grieving. But in this case, I was relieved that her suffering was finished. So I went back in the room. Yes, go ahead.
There's a background noise. It sounds like something's running.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
It makes a noise. Oh, I'm glad you told me.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt it. There. That's so much better.
It hasn't stopped yet. Now it's stopped.
Okay.
How's that?
That's perfect. It's just better to be able to hear you more.
Oh, I want you to hear me clearly. You know what? I'm up in snow country. That's why I'm dressed like this. We have snow on the ground. I have my studded winter tires on, and that was the furnace, so I turned it off. I'm sorry about that. I wish I had realized that sooner.
No worries. We can still hear you, but it'll be so much nicer now.
It'll be clearer now. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, I just wanted to share a couple of things that happened after she passed when I was standing there with her. And she came right beside me. I could feel her right beside me. And she said, Ma, thank you for being so calm. It helps me. It helps me to let go that you are calm. So it wasn't unusual for me that I could hear spirit. But to have a conversation with her that lasted 5 months was something that has brought so much peace. And that's why helping other people to communicate with their loved ones brings them peace. And one of the main ways that I do it is by doing sound healing. So what I'd like to do, and I'm so glad, Elizabeth, now there's no more background noise, because it doesn't matter if you heard my story or didn't hear it. This is really the part that matters, that each person gets to experience some of the peace and raising our vibration. Because in a nutshell, when you do sound, even through Zoom, believe it or not, because I've been doing it through Zoom now since March, and it works. When you raise your vibration and they bring theirs down just a bit, you can communicate. So the idea is to find ways to make ourselves really just this vessel to take in the vibration, and then with suggestion and some music and some facilitation, we can go on all kinds of journeys. So, would you like to try a few minutes of sound healing? Yes, yes, yes? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of funny because I don't hear anybody, but as long as you hear me, I'm going to put on just a little bit of music to start, okay? Just to get us a little bit in the mood. Now, when I do sound, I use different instruments. Some are crystal, some are metal. We won't do a very long session. We'll do maybe 15 minutes, all right? You can close your eyes. You can leave them open, just to give you a taste, okay? That's all. So I really would suggest just to be comfortable. Doesn't mean you don't have to lie down. It's actually sometimes one of the best ways to receive spirit is to be sitting and to have your spine nice and straight. And you just close your eyes. That's it. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly, slowly, you begin to feel your body relaxing. Yourself to breathe in the vibration and breathe it out again. And breathe it in. And breathe it out. This particular crystal bowl is a therapeutic crystal bowl in the note of G, the heart. The note of the heart. the joys and all the sorrows. And for us to find peace and to be able to show ourselves the way to peace, we want to open the heart. Open our hearts to peace and breathe in the sound now of this lovely crystal bowl. And as we breathe in that sound and as we allow it simply to wash over us, we can give ourselves the suggestion to show me the way to peace. Show me the way to peace. Sometimes when I want to meet up with Chloe, to give her a big hug, and you know what's funny? You know what she always says? Comes all this way. She says, "Mom, I love you." That's it. That's what she says. I said, "You came all this way to say, 'Mom, I love you'?" She says, "Yeah." Imagine a spot, a place where you would love to meet up with your loved one. It's a perfect day. And you feel peaceful. This is the tough part. And accepting and open to all that is. Imagine you're there. Perhaps you're by water or in the woods, up in the mountains, whatever speaks to you. And you're walking along so peaceful by yourself, and something tells you to simply sit at the bench right ahead loved one is there. The more that we do this exercise, you would be amazed as you allow your vibration to rise. Make a little time for it. You know, there's so many ways that you can raise your vibration. You know this. In the food you eat, in the air you breathe, in the water you drink, and the music you dance to, and the jokes you laugh to, and the sounds you listen to. Just home. I have to go turn off the furnace. Put myself in the cold here. So what I'm going to do, that's going to take me about 30 seconds. I'm going to put on a piece of music. And simply enjoy. don't need anything fancy to do sound, because you have the most perfect instrument. You have your voice. And if you feel like it, you could sing. And even if you don't feel like it, you could sing. When I was taking care of Chloe, at one point, my son came back from university. He said, "Mom, I'm gonna help you. I can't study geology. And Chloe's dying of cancer." And so I used to go every day and put on the best dance music. And I'd go on his path and I'd cry my eyes out while I would dance to this music. And then I'd come home and take care of her all over again. And you know what? It helped. It helped. So you have your voice, you can hum, you can chant. If anybody is interested and would like to do some chanting, send me a message. I'll send you a wonderful chant. And we're all in this together, here to help each other. I know that's a very different speaker than you've had. But I truly believe that I would love a chant. Sure, just send me an email and I will send it to you. I'm a firm believer that we need to keep finding ways to laugh. We need to move through our grief by chanting and singing as the tears just come down the face. I know for myself, it's helped me to live not just this loss, but other losses too. I have another son who's quite sick, and it's actually really rough because at least with Chloe, I know she's free. I know she can progress. But him, he's stuck. So I sing and I dance and I chant and I do sound, and sometimes I just do this one sound. I'm going to show it to you. It's a very, very high vibration. It's the highest vibration crystal that I have. And it's not a bowl, it's a rod. It's a crystal rod. And sometimes when I need to pick myself up, sometimes when I feel so bad and so sad, and I just feel like I can't breathe, I pick this up and I play it. And I'm going to play it for you now a few times. And just breathe it in and let the sound come in. And it's really a healing sound. Here we go. when I play this sound, it goes right to the third eye. Right there. You could just feel it opening up the third eye and bringing you more clarity and more intuition. And that's what we really want. We want to get calm enough and peaceful enough so that we can hear them. And then we want to open up our intuition so they come through clear. There's only one thing that stops us, really, and that's our doubt. It's just our doubt that stops us. I'm going to tell you a short story. When I was writing this book, Chloe and I loved words. We used to, like, at dinner, we just spend dinner, doing, oxymorons and stuff like that. Tell me another oxymoron, or give me a word that is like 25 letters, otherwise you don't get dessert, or something like that. We did that all the time. So we are still doing that. So one day, as I'm writing, Chloe tells me the word excoriation. So a few hours later, I speak to a girlfriend of mine, a francophone. I live in Quebec. There's many francophones. And she says, I'm getting this English word in my head that I don't know. I've never heard it before. I don't even know it's a word. And she tells me excoriation. I said, thank you. And things like that will keep happening. As you know, signs happen all the time. One of the coolest signs I ever got from Chloe. One morning I opened my cell phone. This is after she's passed. And I see on the phone, where you have the words at the bottom? I see Chloe is fine. I said, no. I pick up the phone and it disappears. I said, oh my God, right there on the phone, Chloe is fine. So yes, my heart grieves, but at the same time, I rejoice. I rejoice because I know she's wonderful. And I know she's fine and happy, and she sends me all kinds of signs. I'll tell you another sign. And then it'll be 1:45, and then if anybody has a question, I'll tell you this one last sign. I spent a year taking care of her, so almost every night I would go to bed exhausted, and I would make a little video, not a video, I'd make an audio on my phone of what happened that day. I had about 100 of them. I can't listen to them. I don't listen to them. They're painful, but they're very insightful, and there's a lot there. So a few months after she passes, she says, Mom, what's the nicest thing you ever did for me? What's the nicest thing you ever did for me? And I'm like, I don't know, Chloe. I did a million nice things for you. I fed you. I cared for you. I did everything. I put up with you. I did everything. A day later, I'm in my car, and she makes one of those 100 recordings play. I don't even know how to do that. And all of a sudden, it comes out. And it's, Mom, you did the nicest thing for me today. And then she explains what it was. And you know what it was? It was asking her, what would you like to do today? And she had said to me, I'd like to have a normal day. So I said, okay, what's a normal day for somebody who's, just doing chemo and can't do much else? She said, I want to get dressed, I want to go to the mall, and I want to shop. I'm like, that's it? You have 2 months left to live and you want to go to the mall? But that's what she wanted to do. So that's what we did. And she made that recording play. Yeah. There's one thing I would like to just explain. It's the last thing. I keep saying it's the last thing. The title. In psychology, there's a term called magical thinking. And magical thinking is basically a term that describes that people, I'm going to just read it. It's a term used in psychology to denote a supposed delusion that our thoughts affect our outer world and that the inner influences the outer. But we know that this is not a delusion. We know this is true. We know the inner affects the outer. And we know that that is certainly not delusional. So one of the ladies in this book, who is actually here tonight, had what was called a mental status exam 2 years after she lost her children. And she showed me this paper from the psychologist, and when I read this, I said, oh my goodness, there's the title of the book. And I just want to read to you what the psychologist said. Although she does report hearing the voices of her children, there is no evidence of her experiencing hallucinatory behavior within the context of this interview. There is no evidence of other psychotic phenomena. Cognitively, she appears to be above average intelligence with reasonably good insight and adequate judgment. Her judgment, however, is to some degree impaired by a certain level of magical thinking, such as her belief that her children continue to be involved with her and to protect her. And so that's why I said, no, my friends, it's not magical thinking. It's true. And they do protect us. And they do love us. And they are with us. And that's my story.
Well, Andrea, I think that that's one of the most hurtful things that any therapist can say to anyone. And
Yeah.
it makes me very, very sad. It almost brings tears to my eyes to think that anyone would be telling someone that they're supposed to be healing. Those crystal bowls, the crystal that you played at the end, all of those are just amazing. Actually, we have people asking about how to acquire the last one in the chat box. And I don't know if that's something that's available on Amazon or on some other site that we might be able to know about. But I just want to tell you a few things that people are saying. Roseanne said, my forehead exploded in tingles moving from the center outward. Teresa said, I love
That's
this.
the third eye opening.
Carla is saying, getting shivers running throughout my body. There are people also asking about the chant, if we could maybe get that by email or some other way, that would be wonderful. People are asking where you get the crystals. I just want to say that I'm so excited about the fact that you and Patty May and the group in Ottawa, we're talking about these things together. What kind of world would this be where we aren't able to talk about these incredible signs that our kids are sending us? And unfortunately, it is something that still people are still wanting to discount these things that are just so clear and so true. And I love the fact that you wrote this book. I do have someone who's asking about the fact that Nancy's saying, but after 5 months, no more connection. That scares me, but I'm sure that you still have a connection with Chloe. Could you talk about that?
Sure. But I would like to say, just to answer a few questions.
Yes.
The crystal, that beautiful crystal rod, is actually made by somebody local. So I will find a way to give you, but it's all in French. Of course. So, but it's definitely something you can buy. And I also do sound healing every Wednesday, twice a day. So anybody who wants to join is welcome to come. It's no charge. It's totally free. And it's 1 hour. I do one in the afternoon and one in the evening on Wednesdays.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And as you do it, the more you do it, the more you tune in, the more the vibrations lift you so quickly. And I'm telling you, you can have the most amazing encounters with your kids. Really. It's special. So Yeah, I was devastated. I knew at the end of the book, after 5 months, it started the 1st of April and it finished the 1st of September. And just in the last chapter, her voice started changing. I'm like, whoa, this isn't Chloe anymore. I can tell. This is like, it sounds funny, but this is like somebody way more intelligent. Like this is not the voice of my bratty nightmare 28-year-old. This is something else. And and they said to me, "You're correct." And then I asked, I said, "Please, can Chloe just come back in for a minute because I need to, connect again." And she did. And then she said, "Ma, it's okay." This is what she explained to me. She said, "Let's say this is the universe, okay?" She says, "You're right here, and I'm right here, right on the other side." But she said, "I got to go now, and I got all this to explore, you know? But when you need me, if you really need me, and if you really want me to come back, you call me and I'll come." And I don't do that very often because I respect the fact that she has so much exploring to do and so much growing to do and learning and evolving. But there are moments, and one moment would be her birthday. That's definitely a day. When you want them to come, that would be it. And her death day. Those 2 days, her angel day. Those are the days when I do call to her. And there's so many easy ways to get them to, to feel that you're bringing them to a certain spot. And we can't get into all that now, but it's just so much fun to explore. And they really are so close. So
Well, we have other things that I'd love to just
yes,
read to you. Um, Alicia is saying, Andrea, you are wonderful. Thank you for the wonderful messages tonight. Carol saying beautiful. Iris is saying, love the sound therapy. Thank you. Jenny and Dave are saying, yes, Andrea, this is wonderful indeed. Thank you for the sharing. I too would love to have a good source for the bowls. Teresa saying, I'm glad we can play this over and over again. So it's nice that it's recorded. People are asking about those sound healing sessions on Wednesdays. So we'll make sure to put that information on the YouTube video as well as on the video that will be uploaded to Helping Parents Heal. Carol is saying, sound healing has saved me. I've done this for almost 2 years now. Teresa's saying, I can't speak French, but I'm sure that we can figure out a way to make sure that the person...
I'll be a go-between for you. I can get them for you, no problem.
Carla's saying that would be amazing. Let's see. Teresa's saying that it's wonderful. Joining the healing session. Mary's saying, I love the sounds. How can I join the meetings on Wednesday? Okay, this is again asking
somehow, well, I'm not sure, but I'll send you the Zoom links and people can just join. How's that? If they want. Or you know what? I have it on my site, and there are also sessions on the site. There's one, I actually did it this summer. This was like a dream for me, was to go into a professional studio and record a sound session. So I go in there with all my stuff, and the guy says, we record 3 minutes at a time, and then I said, 3 minutes at a time? I said, no. I said, push play, push record, and away we go. And we did. And we did a session. And it was just recorded in one shot. But the sound is so great. So it's on my site, and everybody's welcome to it. I also did one for pain. One day, it was awful. I poked a stick right through the middle of my eye. It was the most painful thing. And I had to drive myself to the hospital. But something possessed me. Before going to the hospital, I said, I need to use this. This is a crisis that is too good to go to waste. And I sat down with my bowls and I recorded a 5-minute session on pain. And I was in so much pain that it was this great session that just kind of came through me with using your hands to heal and all that. I don't even remember it, but I recorded it. So it's a 5-minute pain session, and I can tell you I recorded it when I was in huge pain. So, and there's a 50-minute session on there, but it's fun to do it together on Wednesdays. It's really fun.
Well, we will make sure that we get the information to everyone about the Wednesday sessions. Teresa's saying you should make CDs. And then Candy's saying, really love this session. Your voice, the music, and the sounds were beautiful. Made me release resistance, feeling much more peaceful.
That's it.
Which is exactly what you were hoping as well.
Right. That's
And
right.
before the meeting, we were talking about the fact that this is a very stressful time for everyone, not just because our children have passed, but because of the fact that this is a difficult time for everyone, everywhere. And so this is exactly what we need. Patty is saying, loved this, Andrea. Sweet Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
So I'm excited to know that you'll be able to send me more information so that we can tell people. I will be putting both of those books on the Helping Parents Heal website for recommended reading, both the one about Chloe as well as the one about the Ottawa group, which is Magical Thinking Not. I love that title. Shannon is saying, merci bien, ma belle Andrea. You rock, girl. Of course, she's
Shannon, I have to put a shout out to the Ottawa gang that I see, and Jackie and Patty and Shannon in Paris. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You are a trooper. 3 o'clock in the morning, but she's here anyway. It's 3 in the morning, and it's really nice to be with all of you. And it's true. We're like a tribe. We are a tribe.
And I feel so grateful that you were able to come to speak to us tonight. I also just want to remind people that on Wednesday, our meeting is actually going to take place much earlier. It's going to be at 4 o'clock, is that right? Eastern Standard Time, Irene. And this is going to be with Pauline Mason, who is an incredible psychic medium that Irene actually has had a reading with, who is going to be doing group readings. So you don't want to miss that. Please be sure. It'll be easier for Shannon to be on there as well a little bit earlier in the day, which is wonderful. Babette is saying this was so wonderful. Thank you, Andrea. Michelle is saying, thank you, so beautiful and healing. Jacqueline is saying, I miss all of the Ottawa group. Nice to see you, Andrea, Shannon, and Patty. So I just want to ask you, Kathy's saying, thank you. This was so beautiful. That reminds me to tell everyone to make sure to be on tomorrow with Kathy and with Irene. Also, very quickly, I just want to give a shout out to Claudia because she's starting a new group that is going to be based in Canada, but specifically for Romanian speaking parents. And so this is very exciting. We also have Mabel Chan, who's going to be a caring listener in Cantonese, which is also very exciting. So Claudia, it sounds like you want to say something. Did you want to say something?
Just excited to hear you saying that.
Oh. Well, I'm excited too, and so is Emma, and I'm sure Lizzie is as well. So we have so many. Carla's saying very blessed to be part of such an amazing group. Thank you so much, Andrea. Angela's saying thank you, very beautiful. iPhone is saying you need to name your iPhone, by the way. Thank you. And then Kathy's saying, thank you, this was amazing. Claire's saying, thanks so much. Benita's saying, thank you, wonderful session, feeling at peace. And then Adriana is saying, thank you so much, Andrea. So any closing words for us before we have to say goodbye?
Well, it's been really more than a pleasure. It's really an honor to be with you and to be able to share my little journey and my lovely Chloe. And we love to talk about our loved ones, don't we? I know I do, and we all do. And I just want to say thank you because really that group that got together around that dining room table at Patty's house in Ottawa, it helped me so much. So all the signs and all of that, it's all wonderful. But I needed the interaction with other moms to sit together and to understand each other and to listen to each other. And so I say thank you to Helping Parents Heal, because it's really made a difference.
Thank you. I feel very, very, very grateful to have so many wonderful parents and providers who are a part of this group. And I know Irene feels the same. We just are so lucky. And I wanted to just one more time say for tomorrow's meeting, it looks like people are wondering, it's going to be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Zoom link is on our website. So 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And
But not tomorrow, Elizabeth, Wednesday, right? We don't have.
no, I'm talking about your group.
Oh, my meeting. Yes. Join us for the chat at 4 p.m. Eastern.
People
Yes.
are asking about
Sorry.
both meetings are at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
So
You're busy. You're busy.
yes. But in any case, we always make sure everyone unmutes. Is everybody unmuted, Irene? Or
Yes, they should be able to unmute themselves
so
now.
unmute
Yes.
yourself and please say thank you and goodbye to Andrea.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Thank you,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. It was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much,
Wonderful.
It was really nice.
Thank you
Thank
very
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Elizabeth.
thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.